Hi there, how's everyone doing today? Just wanted to say thank you for watching, and in this video I wanted to talk about not so much the Brooklyn Bridge inside of the title. This isn't a documentary or anything about the history of the bridge itself, although it is an interesting structure, and if you ever get a chance to bike ride or walk across it, you get some pretty interesting views, and it's a nice walk. I do recommend it. No, this relates more to something we were told back in grade school, in our childhood years, where if somebody did something stupid, which happened a lot, and, we were kids, we often got into trouble, the teacher or the parent or guardian would ask, why did you do that? And some of them would say, well, he told me to. Well, if he told you to jump off the Brooklyn Bridge, would you do that too? And even though I haven't heard that saying in the longest time, the simple truth is, it actually carries relevance to this day. Specifically with a lot of things that have been going on in our political arena, up to and especially including the January 6th riots, where the people that were eventually apprehended and decided to testify gave testimony saying like, well, the president told us to do it, so we did it. Well, okay, if he told you to jump off the Brooklyn Bridge, you do that too, right? Sadly, I think some of those people actually would do it because he has a really bizarre cult-like following of people who, these supporters, no matter what, just are always going to stand by, in spite of January 6th, in spite of how that reflected on our country. And it didn't reflect on our country in any positive way. Leaders like Vladimir Putin, Kim Jong-un, I guarantee they looked at that and thought like, wow, we don't even have to do anything. Dumb Donald, he's doing it for us. He's making a mess of America from the inside and out. And it's not even just that. It's like when he used to have his rallies and he would say, be nice if somebody would, quote, knock the shit out of them, So somebody tells you to assault someone that you don't even know, and you somehow think that's okay because the president suggested it or told you to do it. I'm not telling people who they should and should support. That's not really my style. But eventually, you got to reach a point where you got to say, the difference between right and wrong. Okay, you don't need a PhD or a degree in political science to understand the difference between what is right and what is wrong. And if somebody tells you to assault someone, especially police officers, to hang a politician, to invade a federal building, I would think at one point through experience, something in your brain would say, hey, this is not right. Yes, I voted for him. Yes, I support him. But he's asking me to do something that I don't think I should be doing. If only all those other people, got the message. But sadly, they didn't. And they're paying the price for it. And no one's getting any pardons. I don't think he could at that point. But even if he could, he doesn't plan to pardon them. At any time, like if he gets reelected in 2024. Who did get a pardon? Steve Bannon. And that was funds he was taking that was meant for the border wall, which Mexico was supposed to pay for, which that didn't happen. Another lie, but that's the whole lying thing is a whole nother story. The bottom line is the people who seem to get favoritism from, our former president is the ones that he can benefit from, where it's transactional, where they are people of wealth or in power or who have a certain amount of influence, and he can use that influence to his own advantage. And you'll notice at the slightest ounce of disloyalty, he drops him and badmouths him in a heartbeat, without hesitation. So, guess what? For those of you who are now in jail or facing jail time because you stormed the Capitol, well, congratulations. You're not only part of the cult, but you're paying the price for something that you could have easily avoided and that it didn't benefit the country in any way. There's no widespread voter fraud. You didn't overturn the election. There's still democracy. We're struggling with it. We're fighting it. But in the end, your plan ultimately failed. And like I said, I would think moving forward, people would start to get the idea that this is not a president that's looking out my best interest, because he will eventually down the road, if he ever gets reelected, or even in the meantime, will suggest that I should do things that I shouldn't be doing, that are only for his benefit and not for the benefit of myself, my family, or more especially my country. So I would imagine if there's ever another rally and he says to get violent or, to do something destructive, all in the name of Trump, which he'll make it seem like it's something patriotic, it's not patriotic. That doesn't make you a good American. That makes you a cult member. That doesn't make you a strong person. That makes you a coward. That makes you weak. That makes you someone who can't tell the obvious difference between what is right and what is wrong. Well, even if I was a Trump supporter, which I'm not, I would see myself in a position where I would say, no, I'm not going to assault someone, even if they disagree with me. That is not my style, because that is wrong. It's also not the way you get people to follow you. You get to convince them with facts and everything. I'm not even going to bother getting into all the lies. I mean, the country was not in great shape. I know people will pivot towards that, just prior to January 6th. But that's, one, it's not even true. And even if there was some remote amount of truth to it, that's not the point. The point is, I would expect people moving forward to try and do the right thing. Not just for themselves, but, for their country as well. And not follow an authoritarian. And the next time somebody says, hey, I want you to storm the Capitol. I want you to assault these police officers. I want you to do something about this particular politician who is making your life difficult, or is allegedly making your life difficult. You would stop and say, no, I'm not going to do that, because that is wrong. You have a choice. You can choose not to do that. You can choose not to storm a Capitol if he ever asks you to do it again. You can choose not to jump off the Brooklyn Bridge simply because he told you to do it. You can choose. I'm hoping you'll choose to do the right thing moving forward. Anyway, hope you understand. Thanks for watching.